Bobby Davis, okay, and who else?
Come on, lay down.
Do we have the handheld microphone?
I don't know.
Do we need it? Maybe we don't need it. I
Honestly, I feel bad.
I don't, we haven't used it and I don't
Okay.
remember how to connect it.
Okay, good. I think we pick everything up okay.
Oh,
Let me make sure you guys are.
you know my Uncle Mel, the fireman, his brother John.
Whoops.
I mean, when he was growing up. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
That was a way too up close picture of Mike there.
Oh, what did I do?
Oh, man. Even the guy on the picture's holding his hand up. He don't even know what you did.
There it is. Do you want it like that, or do you want it to, when somebody speaks, the whole,
I guess. He's milking it.
I don't remember how it was set.
I thought we did speaker.
Speaker? Okay.
That's good. We
Is
can
Mike still quarantined or is he just milking it?
hear that, Mike. I should hear that right. That was rough,
He didn't hear it.
Mike. Maybe there's a time.
Sorry.
It was nothing, it was all complimentary.
It was not.
Well, good evening and welcome to tonight's meeting. Today is Tuesday, October the 5th, 2021. Time is now 6:01 p.m. Regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Trinidad will now come to order. Mr. Williamson, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance.
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Have a roll call, please.
Donna,
Here.
Biddle,
Here.
Riego,
Here.
Ogletree,
Here.
Shu,
Yeah.
Williamson,
Here.
Rico.
Here. Item 3, actually item 2, approval of the agenda. Council have any changes to the agenda that you'd like to make? I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve the agenda.
Okay. Second,
Second.
call a vote.
Donna,
Yes.
Biddle,
Yes.
Riego,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Rico.
Yes. Item 3, policy items and staff reports. Mr. Valentine, anything to report from staff?
Nothing at this time, Mayor, unless somebody there has something.
Okay. Item 4, petitions or communications. Do we have anybody signed up to speak?
I'm pretty sure we do.
Okay.
Okay, Rusty. Okay. Well, I know you don't show up, Mr. Hamer, just to see our lovely faces.
Actually, I would if I could, but I haven't been feeling very good lately.
Okay. Okay, we have Mr. Stephen Hamer here to address this for 5 minutes. Mr. Hamer,
Good evening.
you want to scoot front a little bit more?
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity again to be heard. I have basically three issues tonight. I'm very, very disturbed about the city or the Director of Public Works suggesting that the city ordinance claims that property owners and business owners are responsible for repairing and fixing broken sidewalks and maintaining and repairing sidewalks. That's not true. And for them to suggest that, to me, tells me that the city will go to any length to avoid their statutory requirements under the American with Disabilities Act. Not only does the city's new position on sidewalks it directly affronts the disabled community. And the city should be ashamed of themselves for even suggesting such an outrageous and nefarious, I mean, sidewalks are the responsibility of the city. And let's take, for example, if I left my home at Cortisone Square and I come over here, I would have to sue a bunch of people if I wanted illegal sidewalks. And it puts an unnecessary burden on the landlord, I mean, not the landlord, but the property owner and the building owner. And it's absurd. And I am going to, if the city pushes this issue, then I have to respond. Not only do I have to think about the current needs of the disabled community, but I have to think of future needs. And I won't let the city skate on it. I will bring the city to accountability. And it's something I hope you address. And the second thing I want to talk about is Mr. Murphy is operating without a contract. I filed a Colorado Open Records Act request. He struck some kind of a deal with Mr. England, who was as a one-time city manager. He is operating without any kind of a contract. There's a no-bid contract that I'm aware of. I asked for this. It doesn't exist. And I think I'm not suggesting that Mr. Murphy is doing anything untoward, but it smells to me, it doesn't pass my smell test. I think he should be operating under some kind of a contract, and I think the city should take bids and not just say, okay, you can have all of this. I don't think that's appropriate. I think it's wrong, and I would urge the city council to visit this issue. I'm not saying that he doesn't do a fine job, but I'm saying that he got a sweet deal, and he ought to be unlike any other person, is as accountable as me or you. And he doesn't have a contract, and he needs it. I would think he needs a contract, and what his duties and responsibilities are should be spelled out, and they are not. He does get a check though. But I don't know if the city's bought this equipment. I don't know if he's bought this equipment. I requested it, but there weren't records responsive to my request. And I will be following up on that, because I think there are some records, there's payout records, but I would ask you to visit that, I don't know. But I would ask the city council to at least consider taking some kind of bids. I mean, that's to me it smells. It's just not a good odor. I'm not reflecting in any way negatively toward Mr. Murphy, but I don't like the fact that, well, to me, I think it's inappropriate, frankly, the way he was given, the way it was almost like a verbal or oral contract. And it's been going on for years, and it's never been questioned. I think it ought to be. But anyway, for my third issue, there have been some, under the American with Disabilities Act, the sidewalks are generally, as long as there's 36 inches of path of travel, that's technically illegal. But when you add a companion, like a service dog, you can't walk down the street in a 36 inch. And you folks can walk with someone, enjoy the scenery or whatever, your night out. But people like us, like the disabled in wheelchairs and scooters and other mobility aids, don't enjoy that privilege because of size. I don't understand why Bob Just, I'll be honest, I call him 36-inch Bob, because apparently he's telling owners, as long as there's 36 inches on your, in front of your business, you're legal. But I don't understand why he would do that, and we have to run an obstacle course. It's technically legal, but there are other complications that are starting to rise. Why would he take a 7 or 5 foot sidewalk and narrow it down to 36 inches? That's not I don't think this is a message the city of Trinidad wants to put out to people, prospective business owners coming into town? Well, they only have
1 minute, Mr. Hamer.
they only have 36 inches to travel. I would like to, and I'm getting really bothered. Again, we're getting chairs into path of travel. We're getting people just bolting down tables without permits. The sidewalks are cluttered with A-frames, tables, dogs. I mean, you name it, rocks, carpet. I visited this the last time, and we have to, the disabled community has an equal place at life's table, but it doesn't in Trinidad sometimes, and I don't know. I would really urge you to get on this because my patience is running out, and my olive tree is withering away. So I don't know where I can come up with an olive branch. I'm sorry, because it's the same old rhetoric, and I don't want to hear it.
That's your time, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hamer. On to item 5, consent agenda approval. Item 5A, approval of the regular meeting minutes of September the 21st, 2021. Special meeting minutes of September the 27th, 2021. Item B, approval of the special event permit request by Mount Carmel Health, Wellness, and Community Center at 219 to 249 North Commercial Street, Sister Blandina Garden, on October the 16th, 2021. Do we have Jessica Corsentino with us tonight?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, thank you very much for being here, Jessica. Approval of modification of premises application filed by Silla V Incorporated, doing business as the cafe at 135 East Main Street, to Jody Van Buskirk. Miss Van Buskirk, are you with us tonight? Sound like? Item D, temporary modification of premises application filed by Paradox Beer Company Incorporated at 316 North Commercial Street. Robbie, I thought I saw you were on tonight, correct?
Yeah, he was there.
He was there a little bit earlier. That's all.
Yes, here is muted.
Okay, thank you very much. And that is for a 9/16, it's an Oktoberfest. Item E, approval of modification of entertainment district reporting to remove Trinidadi LLC from the district. Mr. Wallach, are you with us tonight? Might not be. Item F, appointment of Kim Schultz to the Corazon de Trinidad Historic Main Street Board. Kim, are you listening in tonight? Consent to the removal of Michelle Bernali from the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee due to being an inactive member. Item H, approval of bills for $1,270,207.41. Item I, approval of payroll October the 2nd, 2021 through October the 5th, 2021 to the tune of $414,420.29. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second,
Second.
call a vote, please.
Rona,
Yes.
Goodall,
Yes.
Riego,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Rico.
Yes. Item 6, public hearings, we have none. Item 7, unfinished business, we have none. Item 8, miscellaneous business. 8A, submission to the City Council of draft 2022 budget and capital budget budget estimates and set public hearings
And right on cue, she
on
walks in
October
the
the
door.
19th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Second?
any discussion on the item? Mr. Goodall?
None.
Striegel?
None.
You want to?
Nothing for me, Mr. Mayor.
We're just
Sorry,
accepting
right
the
around
draft.
Well, we're doing, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Right, and we're supposed to do that.
I have nothing.
May I have a copy? Okay, great, thank you. No.
Take it past down and each have a copy.
No, that's okay. That's all right, Cheryl. Don't, sure, come back. Okay, thank you. Okay, great, thank you, Mary.
Oh, he's trying to read your,
I'm sorry.
Need one more.
one more of that one?
Yes.
Did you keep the first one?
I did not. I passed, this I think is for me.
The capital project fund?
I have one of those, I passed that.
All right, we were one short.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I never saw this.
Cheryl, is there anything you want to expand on this at this point in time?
No, Mayor, just, this is scheduled for a work session next Monday to discuss in
So
detail.
there is nothing for us to go over tonight on this, other than, like you said, we'll have a work session next Monday. Get the opportunity to go through this, and that'll be the first, and then we'll go through that some more later on. So this is just for basic information for tonight. Okay, we have a first, a second, and then no discussion. Call vote, please.
Ivana,
Yes.
Goodall,
Yes.
Riego,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Rico.
Yes. Item 8B, resolution opposing Proposition 119, which would increase the state marijuana sales tax and reallocate a portion of the public school lands income to fund the Learning Enrichment and Academic Progress Program. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
a discussion. Mr. Goodall?
I'm fully for this 100%.
Okay. Ms. Kringle?
I am totally in favor of the resolution.
Okay. Mr.
No
Williamson?
questions, Mayor.
Okay. Mr. DeBono?
No, sir, we talked a little bit about that on the radio today.
Okay. Ms. Ogletree?
I think it's well worded and I support it.
Mr. Shu?
No.
Just to let you know, I mentioned last week, I think it was at the work session, that I was going to make a call to some of the other communities that were especially along the borders. And I've had an opportunity to talk to a few of them. Some of them have not called me back. But I did talk to someone from Cortez. I talked to someone from Alamosa. They don't have anything. I talked to someone today from Grand Junction, and also from Dinosaur. And Grand Junction has just recently started to, they just approved marijuana, I think, this last May, I believe. So they're pretty new to the whole thing. But the other people that I've talked with, we're going to look into it. One person, the people in Cortez seem to be real concerned because they are a very close border town, and they seem to have some issues with the proposition. But it just seems like, and if you look it over, there is no oversight because they're an independent organization. And to really top it off is they're going to take, I think it's $38 million from the current state school budget and will go into this organization. And the organization will have control for the first year, and because they're talking about for students, underserved students, and learning from home, that type of thing. But then the second year, it pretty much opens up. Everybody, anybody, I don't care if you're an affluent community or not, it opens that up to anyone that is willing to do that. If they want to apply for any of the monies.
Mayor?
Sure, go ahead.
You know, it bugs me that when marijuana got passed through, they pushed it through all the money for schools. And this has the same kind of smell to it, that what they didn't tell anybody in the first go around, you know, our school here in this community was not able to get 1 penny of the money from when marijuana was passed because they didn't let anyone know, but it was a matching grant.
Yeah, that was the problem.
And so it looks like we're fixing to see the exact same thing try to go through here, and they're gonna pass it through with no intentions. Why don't they tap back into the original money if they want to fund this program? and quit funding rich schools that don't need help. That's where the money should be coming from if they want to start this program.
Absolutely.
I just felt like.
Well, here's another part of that. You know, I tracked this down. There was a House Bill 21-1259 that was passed from the state legislature, and it is called Extended Learning Opportunities, which is basically the same thing that this group is trying to do. So it's going to be a double dipping situation for this organization. Well, in the same way, triple dipping, because they're going to get the tax money, they're going to get that $38 million, and they're going to get money from this thing, whatever the money is coming from this 1259. So
That's 300, they're projecting like $300 million
Yeah.
or something
Well,
like
you know,
that.
what's really concerning about this, if you read, there's no oversight
there's not.
No?
by the State Board of Education or the Colorado Department of Education. So, I mean, I think it's just, it's a horrible, horrible
It is.
proposition.
It's
Yeah.
actually 48.2, not 38.
It's 40, I did right. It's 48.2 million is what they're going to be taking from the coffers that, from the state. I mean, that's a lot of money to take away from the school districts.
Yep.
Yes,
It
it
really
is.
is. You know, the problem is that all they do is they look at the school districts and they, every day, you know, like the richer school districts. But all the rural school districts are the ones that are suffering.
Yep.
So they can take, you know, like this school district, they could probably take away $50,000. It's gonna hurt them. You know, it may be more than that, who knows? But anyway, it's a major issue, and we don't know where it's gonna go, but I think this,
A yes vote is supposed to support the creative learning enrichment programs for education. We'll see.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So anyway, I just, like I said, I talked to you guys last week, and I asked Mr. Valentine to bring this up.
Bill, you
Yes.
kind of, I mean, you were on a little bit there. Who exactly is behind all this?
If you go under, just look under Google, and look under Proposition 119, and pull it up, and you go down the list, because I've done that, and I've looked at, there are several individuals, but there are several organizations, and there's one organization that I know that I called today, and I asked, actually yesterday, and I asked the person if they were aware of what they were signing off on, and pretty much they were not aware. They basically said, if it's for schools, yeah. But after I send him off information, and he emailed me back and said, oh, I gotta check into this further.
Yeah, maybe we should look into that, some, you know, proposing some of that to some of those people
Yeah.
that are backing this up.
So this is what's crazy, and that's what I don't understand, is that these people, they sign on to something without actually looking into the, the devil's in the details. Let's face it, it is.
And Councilman,
Money back on the other side.
there's a list of people who support Proposition 119 attached. I know that doesn't answer the question, and
No,
it is a good one. Who's the driving force behind
Yeah,
it?
who's
But
really
I
pushing the
understand
issue? I mean, it's gotta be a legislator.
Right, or a legislator or legislators doing someone's bidding.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right, and it's a very good question. I didn't mean to interrupt the mayor, take away from the council. For me, it would be speculation at this point, but it's a good question. Who's the driving force behind
Anyway,
it? Yeah.
I just thought that this is something that we needed to address. So, any other questions?
So who else? Is there any organized opposition to this?
Yes, there is. There's a non-prop 119, and I've been talking,
Yep.
I met with Sal. I've talked to Sal Pace, because I know that, his friends does work with Dr. Hassan, who has new view here. So I think they are kind of one of the main supporters for the non-prop. And they're trying to get other people interested. And I can't remember if I told you guys this last week, but I sent Audra the information that I had last week, and I told her to forward it on to all of the industry here in Trinidad, the cannabis industry in Trinidad, if they wanted to become participants in opposing this. So she sent that off to them. Yes?
Wouldn't it be advisable for us to talk to our legislators to vote against this in the deal resolution when they put it up?
Well, think about it.
I mean,
This is a
you're
ballot
talking
issue.
to-
Right.
This is a ballot issue for the voters.
And we can't take it off the ballot with legislators?
No, it's on, and the election is in a month. And I would just suggest that if you're going to, do this, that you do it now, just so you can make a statement prior to the election at the beginning of November, however you may come down.
So, and with this resolution, what I'll do is, I'm not sure if Audra has where to send it to, but I have the information that I'll give to her before to send this resolution to.
Do we know how the Department of Education stands on this? If they have no oversight into it? That doesn't even sound right.
I think, I may be wrong on this, but I'm not sure if they opposed it, but I'm not sure if they've become neutral on it, I'm not sure.
Right. They may kind of abstain so as to not weigh in on a matter where they arguably have a conflict, but I would think it would either be opposed or abstain,
Yeah.
would be my guess.
So, any other comments? Call vote, please.
Toronto,
Yes.
Goodall,
Yes.
Pedro,
Yes?
Ogletree,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Rico.
Yes. Ms. Garrett, what I'll do is I will call Chuck Smith tomorrow, because besides, he's the one that's kind of in charge of this. And I will
There's
find,
Debbie's doing something.
and I will find out exactly where to send the information to, or this resolution to. And I'll get it back, I'll get it to you tomorrow sometime.
Okay.
Did Debbie put something on the chat?
Yeah, she said Governors Ritter and Romer.
Yeah, they're on there. If you read
Oh,
through the list in our packet, it has a long list
Yeah.
of former governors and
And I'll bet you 10 to 1,
Senate
they didn't even
president.
read the doggone thing.
I would imagine.
Did you know they're advertising on Facebook as
Yeah.
well?
So, anyway, let's go on to item 9, council reports. Mr. Goodall, you're first.
So, my phone is just not quit ringing for this whole week, and two things are pretty consistent. Most of the people that are calling me are definite seniors. In the survey that was talked about to be mailed out with utility bills is not a survey, it's a link for someone to go on their computer to go to take a survey. Seniors don't have computers, they don't have internet. Mr. Shu is a prime example of that. If his only, I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I use mine for, work only and that's it. It's not like I get on there and surf everything, but so a lot of seniors are upset that they didn't get a survey that they can take with their utility bill like was advertised, and they have no opportunity to weigh in on this survey. So now the second thing they're saying is, if I didn't know your wife on Facebook and got your phone number, I have no way to contact you. And they're saying, used to, when you went to the city website, or you could call City Hall and you could get city council members' phone numbers, and you could call them and contact them, and that's not available anymore, they say. And when they call down here to City Hall, they're being told they don't want their numbers given out because they don't want a ton of whack jobs calling them, is the exact quote from what one of the people called me and said, she was told. So I think that's something we need to address on both cases. If we're elected officials, we need to be available to the public, plain and simple. One way or another, they should either be able to call City Hall and leave a message that gets to us that we can return a phone call if we don't want our numbers given out, or our numbers need to be made available to be called. And we need to address the seniors who do not have internet being able to take this survey, because they're very concerned with property values, and they've been told and assured that, tiny homes built in your neighborhood will not affect your property values. And they said that is a lie. And they're pretty upset about this survey that's going out. So those are the two things I have to report on, and I'm done.
Okay.
May I comment on something?
Sure.
It's potentially an idea, but I know IT can set up a Google number that can be forwarded to your cell phone. Those would be pretty easy to generate, and then if one becomes compromised in a way, you move on to the next Google number. It's an idea.
I have no problem my number being out
Mine
there,
is-
and I ask everyone to share my number and feel free to call me at any time. So that's a solution too. Just
I know-
give
I
my
know.
number out if they ask.
I know the calls that I get, they call City Hall a lot of times. those that don't know my number already.
I give
several
them
of
this
them
number out.
Sure, the
They
phone
get my
book.
number, they get my number, or they have me call them, and I do that, so. It's great.
Going on the same thing Rusty was talking about, maybe we could advertise a public service announcement. Maybe if they want help, they could go down to either to the library. They think it's that important that they want to do it. You know, there's a way to do it. We just never thought about that. It's
Yeah.
kind of like an oversight on our part. But
That's a good idea.
yeah, I'm still so excited over this weekend. I can't even stand myself. I didn't get to go down to the Dirt Fest or the bicentennial because of my physical limitations right now. But I saw most of it on Facebook by video, and I'll tell you what, that was like a dream come true. When I saw all the professional rigging on Main Street for the Rad Dirt Fest. Yeah, I mean, those are things I used to, believe it or not, used to run in races like that, Boulder. My husband and daughter do all the time, or used to. And I never thought I'd see that type of an organization come to Trinidad and put on an event like that. And it's like, I think we found what our niche is. For years I've been trying to figure out, how do we get people off that interstate and enjoying Trinidad? Because you've got Santa Fe to the south, you've got Denver and Springs to the north. What does little Trinidad have to offer? Well, come to find out, we have a lot. And I know this is more a promotional speech than anything, but I thank our lucky stars that people within the staff, like, I hate to mention names, all of them, Jared, Wally, Marty Hackett, everybody that was involved, the Bicentennial Committee, so many people that volunteered their time to do that. And I think that Dirt Fest last weekend is the beginning of many of those events to come to Trinidad. Because I looked at this area from different eyes, from a different viewpoint. I mean, they were showing video of, I've gone up by Spanish Peaks Inn and in that area for years and never saw the beauty of it, that those videos were captured. And I think we need to spend more time and money as a city to enhance those experiences, to continue with them. I think the city should, I would like to have the city mail the organizers of the Dirt Fest to thank them for coming to Trinidad.
That would be a good idea.
And I think we need to start now organizing for next year.
Could you arrange that, Mr. Valentine? Let's get a letter off to Lifetime Events thanking them for bringing their event to Trinidad.
Will do, Mayor, and the way it's planned, it's going to be an annual event.
That's what I
This
thought.
one went off fairly well. Few hitches from what I've heard, but nothing but good. So we will do that and look forward to next year.
Can I ask Mr. Valentine, Mike, what, we have the number 2 on the chat. What has come up on the chat that we're not seeing? Can you see the chat?
Just a chat from Debbie Wagner regarding the organization supporting Proposition 119.
Okay.
And she lists those that do.
All right.
That's all I see.
Yeah, that's in our pack. I just wanted to make sure we weren't missing something else.
Yeah, it's in 2 chats, so yes.
All right. Thank you.
You bet.
Just one more thing, I was just thrilled as I can't tell you how thrilled I am. I was sitting in my office Friday, and there was not one, there was not two, there were 3 charter buses, I've told you this, parked on Commercial Street with about 40 or 50 people coming out of each charter bus, walking down Main Street and Commercial Street. The weather wasn't really good for them, but it's like, honest to God, I've been on Commercial Street for 46 years and never saw 3 charter buses.
Yeah.
Never. Never. It was a beautiful sight. I wanted to go ask them if they wanted coffee or something. You know, I was just beside myself. But I think that's an indication of what Trinidad, this is, I think, a clear sign of where Trinidad needs to go.
Opportunity.
That's a great opportunity. Okay, I can take that, put my pom-poms down now and.
Mr. Williamson.
I had prepared some remarks about the weekend, but I'll let that enthusiasm carry me. It was a really amazing event. Unfortunately, I missed the library board's last meeting. I did want to mention a lot of great changes have been taking place over there, both visually and exterior, and I think a lot of services going on inside too. It seems to me that I've heard feedback from the general public that they're very much enjoying the changes they have seen in the library. So I wanted to commend the library staff and everything that's going on there for what they're doing. I missed I did miss that meeting for a special meeting of the Council of Governments. The preceding regular meeting, we chose to not renew Walt Bolden's contract, so we were putting in place an interim director. Probably a lot of you may know that person, Lou Ray King. She'll be acting as the interim director for the time being. And then I'm sure that she'll be making connections with the appropriate people as we speak, or to date. And then I can just keep you updated as far as the search goes for putting in the the next executive director. But that's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Donovan.
I spoke with Los Animas County Chamber member Linda Barron today at the radio station. We had a pretty good interview with Amy Navarrete. We talked a little bit about the Meet the Candidates Thursday, 6 o'clock, Sorry Performing Arts Center, Trinidad State Campus. We also talked about there's going to be a Veterans Dinner November 11th. That's a Thursday across the street here at Sebastiani Gym. And had an interview with Mr. Rico today at the radio station talked about the Greenway Foundation, a few other things going on in the city. And I think I had the same person that spoke to Rusty about the no contact information for city council members. And I said, well, I think at one time, Mike, I don't know, you might correct me on this, there was at one time contact information publicly, city council members' phone numbers?
I do not think we ever had anything on the website. We'll remedy the situation somehow so that definitely your constituents can contact you.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Single tree.
I just got back on Saturday basically from Steamboat Springs. I was there for the Colorado Creative Industries Summit, and it was a great experience. I'm going to meet, we weren't able to send anyone from the Creative District in Trinidad to it, so I'm going to meet with them on Monday and kind of give them an update of what I heard. And I'd like to encourage that entity to be more of an information source about the grants that are available to local artists and entrepreneurs, because there are so many and I don't want us to miss out on them. I think that that's my central reason for doing this, is to get more money and attention down here. I had a chance to have breakfast with Dave Miller, who owns the Savoy. I don't know if any of you know him. He lives up in Steamboat and loves Trinidad a lot. And he always has great ideas, and one of them that he had was that we really need to focus on getting more festivals and things like that in Trinidad for the very reason that you said. Is you get people here, and he suggested that we look at having some land that would be available for dry camping for people who have campers that don't need electricity and water to be able to be here and to enjoy music festivals or whatever. So that was good. On the website thing, I brought this up with the mayor recently that we didn't really have a long discussion at the work session about things that we'd like to do a work session about, but I'd really like to do a work session on our website so that we can give feedback to to Chrissy Rogers, who's doing the redo, and tell her what's the feedback we're hearing from our community about it, what things in particular they would like to have, and one of those things is at least, at a minimum, our email addresses. And I don't have a problem with my phone number. I have a Google number too because it's a 719 number and my cell phone is an out-of-state number. So people use that to get a hold of me, so I think that's a good idea. And that's all I have.
Good. Mr. Chu?
I mean, the only thing I was gonna say is, at one time, in the paper, didn't they have our phone numbers listed? How come that was taken
Yeah,
out?
yes.
Well, who did that? I mean, why can't we get that back?
I remember that.
No, it should be, I have no issue with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. The only other comment, I mean, I agree with you guys on the weekend and that. I talked to a couple ladies downtown that run businesses that sometimes come in here. And they said that they really thought that was a great deal. And she said she didn't have to come outside and pick up beer bottles and trash and everything. It was really ran well, and she'd like to see more of that done. And she said it was really professional, and like I say, she was really pleased, and the other lady too. And I talked to them today, and they were really happy with it because of the trash and the beer and stuff like that. And she said that festivals like that are going to be really good, and we should have more of them. And that's all I got.
You know, Mr. Valentine, I want to, just to commend, the staff, Marty Hackett, Jared, for what they did for this past weekend. I know they worked pretty hard on it. Marty was pretty wore out. I saw her Saturday afternoon, she was pretty wore out. But anyone else in staff that took part in helping to do anything with this last weekend, I think they need to be thanked from us council. So let them know. I appreciate that. Just let you know, my wife and I, we both participated at the aid station in Ludlow, and it was fun. It was a lot of work. A lot of bikes. We were there from 8:30 till about 1:30, and at 8:30, between 8:30 and 9, there weren't a lot of bikes. But then after that, they just started coming in because they have to make the 99-mile loop. They went up Ludlow, and they crossed over, came back to Berwyn Canyon, and of course all the bikes over there. Chris Paradisa was there helping anyone who needed help with their bikes that broke down. I think he helped repair four different bikes. The most major issue I thought that I saw is he fixed a flat for somebody, I believe. But those were just like some oiling and adjusting and stuff, I guess, that they found out that they were having. But it was just very enlightening with the opportunity that when some of the guys and women would come around, I'd ask them, where are you from? And like I said, Boston and Illinois and Tennessee, Texas. And I read in the newspaper today there were like 20 or 30 different states, and I think people from 3 different countries were here. And I thought there were 3 of the guys that were actually helping from Lifetime Event were at that station. Mm-hmm. And they were pretty intrigued with what, the entire routes and everything. And of course, they're very excited to come back next year. And so it's going to become an annual event. We discussed a little bit, maybe like this year we had the Santa Fe Trails. I know we can't have that every year, but I think there's something else that maybe we could do at the same time of the year, so that like when they come in, they hung around downtown and give them opportunity to experience Trinidad. I think there was 647, I may have that number wrong, the number of bikes that they found, he said, came through here, plus the 125 foot racers. But in talking to the guys that were at the, up in Ledlow, they said it could very well double next year the quantity of bikes that would be here.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
matter of fact, I got a call today from a gentleman by the name of Greg, and you want to have a kind of an after, just a meeting. So, matter of fact, contacted Mr. Valentine and myself, being that I was there. Lainey Parker was at the Frijoles Hill. There was another lady, I forget her, Jan, I forget what her name was part of it. And then some people from the Lifetime event that we're going to meet here, I think on the 25th. Just to kind of go over and see what went well, what didn't go well, what adjustments do we need to make. So I think that they're just very excited that coming back next year and to see what we can do for this organization. I think it's great. After we came back at 1:30, I went through town to walk around and just so many people from out of town. Saw a few locals there, but the majority of the people that were downtown were from out of town. So the publicity was tremendous this last week, and this is what happened. It was great.
Carlos Lopez came up to the radio station. He said Fisher's Peak Outfitters, he was busy all weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He was busy all week.
talked to another vendor, and she said that her business Saturday was tremendous. She said she had a tremendous day on Saturday.
Good.
Just to let you know, and the week before that, our director from the Southwest Chief, even though it was a virtual meeting from him, but he gave a report to the South Central Council of Governments, and I was there just to be there because as a representative, I was there. And I mentioned this last week that I had attended that hazard mitigation thing from that the county is having to work on. I also attended a CIRSA meeting last week, and it was interesting. And there was something that I was not aware of, and I came back and I was talking to Audra about it. Because it was mostly about law enforcement, and one of the big issues last year when that legislation passed that the police department would the policeman can be individually liable up to $25,000.
Yeah.
Well, according to CIRSA, they will cover that $25,000 for the individual.
They will or will not?
They will.
Good.
They will cover that. So that was something that really I thought was pretty. Let me see if there's something else on it that I wrote down.
And while you're looking, I think the legislation originally said that those judgments could not be covered by insurance. So I'm so glad that that's being done.
Well, what they're finding out is they don't know if there are any insurance companies out there yet that will cover these. At least not yet.
There's not, that's why CIRSA is the only,
Right.
the insurance pools, that's the only way to go.
Les, I'm gonna give this to you. You can read what some of the stuff that they covered.
Sure.
Mr. Valentine, do you know anything about a NovaCore subscription?
NovaCore.
I'm sorry, Mayor, what?
A NovaCore subscription, does the city of Trinidad have? That has to do around the policing?
Is that Narcan?
No, it's called NovaCore. So, you can.
I will check into it, Mayor.
Yeah, because I think, it sounded like there was something in there that might be of interest for us to have. So, Les, I'll give you this information, you can have that.
Thank you.
Okay. The last thing I just wanted to give, I thought it might be a good idea to do this every meeting, regular meeting that we have, an update from the health department on the COVID-19 issues that we have around. And last time I gave, and there were quite a few from the dates that they showed. This one here was from the cases from September the 29th through October the 1st. They were down from that previous 2-week period. I think the previous 2 weeks, I think there were 26 new cases. There are now 14, this from that October, September 29th, October the 1st, there were only 14 new cases reported. So it has dropped some. However, though, the active cases are actually up because some of the older cases and some of the newer cases, I think there was like 67 or something like that the last time, now there's 77. There have been 20 deaths due to COVID-19 in the county, and I have the Werfenau County, they have 8 new cases, 35 active, and 18 deaths. The way it breaks down in the variants, the UK Alpha, there were 15, African Beta was 1, California 7, there were 101 Delta, Delta 2, 3, Delta 4, 0. So that's the update from the health department as of, like I say, of October the 1st. I think that is all I have. Mr. Valentine?
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. I really don't have a lot to report tonight. I am not a person that works from home. So I'm a bit out of sorts and not connected very well like I'd like to be. But just to let council know, and I think the mayor may have announced this, but we were successful in getting the Heritage Grant, the Main Street Open for Business Grant for the Fox Theater. We were selected as a pilot project. There were 3 of those. So the Fox Theater, we received a $250,000 grant for that. And it is tied to energy, so it'll be toward windows, lighting, LED lighting, possibly some HVAC, but that was exciting to find out. And other than that, just want to commend staff for the work everybody did on the budget. You have it before you in preliminary form. We'll go through it next Monday, and especially Cheryl. She worked late nights on that thing, and she does every year. So I want to thank her for that. And it's a tough year, not knowing what's coming our way. So you'll see what we did with the budget, with your preliminary, and then we'll dig a little deeper next week. But other than that, that's all I have, Mayor.
The only other thing I wanted to add, just let everyone know if you've not read it, but we were not successful for that facade program. I had one individual business that was looking forward to getting some of that money, and she told me she was disappointed that we were not successful. So anyway, Mr. Downs.
Thank you.
Can I ask
Sure.
a question before we go? Monday is Columbus Day / Indigenous People Day. Is the city hall open?
It is. In our union negotiations last year,
Okay.
we gave up Columbus Day, and we
Half a
we
day.
got full days before Christmas Eve and
Okay.
Easter. So
Okay.
we are open.
All righty, sir.
The only other thing is, just now that you said that, I know that October the 2nd is voting day. November the 2nd. We'll probably have to move our meeting off probably to Wednesday like we've done in the past, I'm sure. So
We will do that.
we'll take care of that. Okay. Mr. Duns.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. I just want to direct your attention to the fact that I sent you an email earlier today. I hate commenting on that when it's for tonight, and now I'm telling you about it, but hopefully you saw my email, and I will be sending another one on that subject, just so you know, another confidential email. I am sure also that Mr. Murphy is probably wanting to speak this evening about, but anyway, that will happen at another time, and I know there's a long history there. But aside from that, the only thing I wanted to tell you is at the next meeting, October 19th, 2 things to bring to your attention. One is there will be a hearing for what was a liquor license hearing for what was formerly the Movie Picture Show House, which is now Inspiring Sunshine, and that is going to be coming forward. And also on the agenda will be an executive session for my evaluation.
Oh, my
So please consult your thesauruses and look for flowery synonyms for. No, I just wanted to let you know that will be on the agenda for next meeting. And that is all I have.
Okay, there we go. Look forward to it. Motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
call a vote.
Pomona,
Yes.
Kiddo,
Yes.
Riego,
Yes.
Ogletree,
Yes.
Nice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Rico.
Yes.
Excuse me, guys. Robbie Davis had a question in the chat for you guys.
Okay.
Okay, what was the question?
He's just curious that he hasn't missed anything pertinent to the Paradox license extension for the 16th. That it sounds like his internet was giving him trouble earlier.
No, there was no information, just usually, what we usually do is we ask people when they bring forward an idea like that they can listen in just in case there's something that does come up, that they're available to answer any questions, but there were no questions from council to Robbie.
And it was.
Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry. I haven't got a response from Audra since then. I think we're in good shape, but I appreciate you addressing that. Thank you so much.
And it was passed, so here you go. Okay, thank you, good night.